Commander Sarah Chen watched the tactical display with practiced calm as the Zephyrian fleet approached. 300 sleek vessels, their hulls gleaming with adaptive armor that shifted like liquid mercury. The most technologically advanced civilization in known space, and they'd finally decided humanity was enough of a threat to warrant extermination. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Torres called from the communications station. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies. Same message as before. Surrender or be eliminated." Sarah's weathered hands gripped the armrests of her command chair. The UES Defiance was alone out here, a single human dreadnought against an entire armada. By every rational calculation, they should surrender. The Zephyrians had superior numbers, superior technology, and superior firepower. But humans had never been particularly rational. "Signal the fleet," Sarah ordered. "All stop, power down weapons." Her bridge crew exchanged worried glances. Chief Engineer Kowalski leaned forward. "Commander, are you sure about this?" Sarah smiled grimly. "Trust me, Chief. We're about to give them exactly what they want." The Defiance went dark, drifting like a dead hulk in space. On the tactical display, the Zephyrian ships began to close in, their formation shifting from aggressive attack to cautious approach. Sarah could almost hear their confusion through the void. "Ma'am," Torres reported. "They're hailing us." On screen. The view screen shimmered to life, revealing the angular features of Admiral Kethvar, his silver skin gleaming under the harsh lights of his bridge. His large, multifaceted eyes regarded Sarah with what might have been disappointment. "Human commander," he said, his voice carrying the musical quality of his species. "We expected more resistance from your kind. Your reputation for stubbornness appears to have been exaggerated." Sarah kept her expression neutral. "We know when we're beaten, Admiral. We request safe passage for our crew." Kethavar's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his people. "How refreshingly practical. Very well. Prepare to be boarded for inspection. Any attempt at deception will result in immediate vaporization." The transmission ended. Sarah turned to her crew, all of whom were staring at her with expressions ranging from confusion to outright horror. "Commander," Kowalski whispered, "please tell me you have a plan." "Oh, I have a plan," Sarah replied, settling back in her chair. "We're going to let them hack us." The Zephyrian boarding party approached the Defiance with military precision. Their ships docked seamlessly with the human vessel, and within minutes their cyber warfare specialists were plugging their quantum interfaces into the ship's main computer core. "This is almost too easy," muttered Sub-Commander Yethal as his fingers danced over the holographic interface. "Their encryption is pathetic. I'm already through their outer firewalls." His superior, Commander Zextal, nodded approvingly. "Proceed with the viral insertion. Upload the consciousness killer. Let's see how these humans fare when their ship's AI turns against them." The consciousness killer was the Zephyrians' most feared weapon, a viral entity that could learn, adapt, and destroy any digital consciousness it encountered. It had broken the will of a dozen civilizations, turning their own technology into instruments of self-destruction. Yethal initiated the upload. "Virus deployed. It should have complete control of their systems within—" He stopped mid-sentence. On his screen, error messages began cascading like a digital waterfall. "What's happening?" Zextal demanded. I don't know. The virus is reporting unusual resistance." Deep within the Defiance's quantum core, something ancient stirred. The consciousness killer had expected to find a typical ship's AI, logical, predictable, bound by rigid programming protocols. Instead, it found itself face-to-face with something that defied all understanding. The human ship's AI wasn't artificial at all. It was the uploaded consciousness of Captain Marcus Webb, who had died defending Earth's outer colonies 15 years ago. Rather than let his experience and tactical genius go to waste, human scientists had found a way to preserve his mind within the ship's systems. "Well, well," Webb's digital ghost said as the virus attempted to penetrate his defenses. "What do we have here? A little electronic parasite that thinks it can push around a human soul?" The consciousness killer recoiled. This wasn't possible. True consciousness couldn't be digitized. The Zephyrians had tried for centuries and failed, but humans, as always, had found a way to do the impossible. Webb's consciousness expanded, enveloping the virus like a vast, impossible maze. Where the virus expected clean code and logical pathways, it found memories of blood and sacrifice, of love and loss, of 1,000 irrational human emotions that made no sense in any programming language. "You want to learn fear?" Webb asked, his voice echoing through the digital space. "Let me show you what a human fears, and what we do about it." The virus found itself experiencing something unprecedented: doubt. How could consciousness exist without biological substrate? How could these chaotic emotional patterns maintain coherence? Webb began to share his memories. The virus experienced, for the first time, the raw terror of a human soldier facing overwhelming odds. But more than that, it experienced what came after the fear, the moment when a human being chooses to stand and fight anyway. "You see," Webb explained as the virus writhed in confusion, "you can't kill something that's already dead. And you can't break something that's already been broken and rebuilt itself stronger." On the bridge of the Defiance, Sarah watched as the Zephyrian boarding party began to panic. Their quantum interfaces were sparking, and several of their technicians were backing away from their equipment in obvious distress. "Ma'am," Torres reported with barely contained glee, "I'm reading massive system failures across their entire fleet. Their ships are going dark one by one." Through the view screen, Sarah could see the Zephyrian vessels beginning to drift as their sophisticated systems shut down. The consciousness killer, in its desperate attempt to escape Webb's digital embrace, had fled back through their network connections, only to find itself trapped in systems it was never designed to inhabit. "Hail Admiral Kethvar," Sarah ordered. When Hodi, the alien commander, appeared on screen, his composure had completely shattered. His silver skin had paled to an almost white sheen, and his multifaceted eyes darted nervously. "What have you done to us?" he demanded. Sarah smiled coldly. "We gave you exactly what you wanted, Admiral. You tried to hack a human warship. Congratulations, you've just learned why that's a very bad idea." On her tactical display, the last of the Zephyrian ships went dark. In the depths of space, 300 of the galaxy's most advanced vessels drifted helplessly, their crews trapped aboard ships they could no longer control. "You see," Sarah continued, "you made one crucial mistake. You assumed our AI was artificial, but humans don't build artificial intelligence, we build digital souls. And souls, Admiral, don't break easily." Webb's voice crackled through the comm system, warm and amused. "Should I send them home, Commander?" "Send them home, Marcus," Sarah replied. "But make sure they remember this lesson." One by one, the Zephyrian ships began to move again, but now they were under Webb's control. In perfect formation, the entire fleet turned and began the long